you say Q and I say A?
Yeah, I think so. Q&A with Jake Stone.
At the Shelby Paget Realty compound.
The compound on the river.
It is on the river.
Hey guys, I'm Shelby Paget of Shelby Paget Realty, and this is
Jake Stone. I own Stone Precision Contractors and then just do kind of all around real estate investing.
Been doing lots of flips, remodels, custom home builds.
Yep.
You've been in the building industry since pretty much you were what, like 13 or 14 under your dad?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Kind of just roofing houses, doing finished carpentry, flooring, and stuff like that. Young labor, I guess is what you call it. But
all right, so after being a builder for quite a few years now and being in that industry, you've also built a pretty substantial little rental portfolio in a pretty short period of time as well.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit, how many units do you have right now?
So as far as properties go, we're closing on property number 4 right now, and that's in Florida.
Okay.
As far as local goes, we have 3 properties, but between those 3 properties, we have about 6 doors.
Okay,
total.
so tell me how that works. So give me an example of, well, let's talk about just your journey in collecting and building this portfolio. So what was property number 1?
So property number 1 actually bought through you over in Eagle back in 2018, and that was just kind of you actually found that deal and were like, hey, you should buy this. And it ended up being a sweet little property. We paid, I think, $218 for it back then in Eagle on a 1/4 acre. And
we made them pay everything for
yeah,
your
they ended up paying
costs.
closing costs. I think I came to the table with like $6,500 or
Yeah.
something like that.
It was 42.
Was that what it was?
Yeah,
it was.
That's
nothing,
pretty good.
But yeah, so
1/4 acre in Eagle, basically.
yeah, pretty much. So
Okay.
rented that out pretty instantaneously to somebody it was actually one of my secretaries for the company that I was working for before I went on my own.
Nice.
And then you ended up finding me a pretty awesome tenant who
who's been in there till
yeah,
today,
she's been
right?
in there till today. So
great. And what's that one? Is that one cash flowing?
yeah, so we actually originally we kind of bought it more as an equity play, and interest rates happened to go up, so I ended up with a 5% interest rate, which kind of sucked, but we took the gamble and got the property anyway. Basically, we just refied it and dropped the payment down to $1,300, and we have it renting out for $1,700 a month, which is pretty low actually. It probably market value should be closer to $2,100. So
very cool.
but I'm not gonna raise the rent on her. She's
And then
awesome.
after that point, obviously you and I are good friends. You actually ended up moving in with me and renting out the property, right?
Yeah.
So that ended up working out pretty well. And for those of you that don't know, if you buy a house, FHA loan type, typically per Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, and you can check with their websites, but you can go ahead and at 12 months, you have the option to potentially exercise that program again if a life situation makes it worthwhile, or if you need to rent that out, you can do so and move on to your next properties.
Exactly.
So somewhat of a different strategy getting into rentals. And you lived with me. I ended up getting married. Obviously you're married now, which is awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Tell me about property number 2.
So property number 2, bought with my wife, who's now my wife. Got that thing in Caldwell, and just happened to be kind of a property we were looking for to kind of flip, I guess, fix up. We weren't looking for anything like to move into and just settle down in, because we kind of got a game plan for the next 5 to 10 years. So ended up picking up this property for $155, I think is what we got it for. You remember?
154.
154.
Yeah.
So we came to the table, I think, with like a total of 11 grand between closing costs and down payment and everything. And that one I would consider a house hack.
Yeah.
We went through, gutted that thing, completely remodeled it, lived in it for a little while, and then there was a shop in the back that's about 650 square feet, and we took that thing and converted that into a second house.
So living space completely detached, huh?
Yeah, so completely detached.
Let's touch a little bit where you guys were identifying properties. That's kind of how a lot of them looked, right? They're older homes built in the mid-1900s that have, usually if they have a garage, it's not attached to the main
exactly,
space,
and
right?
and most of them have alley access too, so there's completely a whole different access to the house if that's the route you wanted to go.
Super unique.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was thinking in the back of my head while we were looking at these properties, was let's find something that we can kind of create 2 doors out of one investment.
So we got it for 150s. How much did you end up putting in? Because you renovated the primary residence area, and then you made the second dwelling a full residence as well, right?
Yep, exactly. So we dumped I did all the labor on this, so we only had to dump about 25 grand into the main house, which I remodeled. Me and my wife remodeled it together, which turned out amazing. Actually, we converted into it was a 2-bed with like a Jack and Jill, kind of funky, and we actually converted into just a big master with a big master closet and bathroom, and then a half bath. So essentially we turned it into studio. Yeah, like a giant
But you
studio.
have the basement area too that's unfinished but could be livable if someone wanted to.
Yeah, if somebody wanted to. It's kind of storage right now in a laundry room. And then the back house cost about another 25 grand. So our total investment in was about 50 grand on that. And the back house, we ended up actually pretty much reframing the whole interior of that thing. Put a new roof on it. It's essentially a brand new home. The slab was good. We kind of re-supported everything and literally just replaced all the lumber to make it brand new. So,
and so since then, obviously it's been over a year. So you rented out the front unit. What's that one rent for?
So that one goes for $1,100 a month.
Wow.
In Caldwell, and the back one goes for $1,200 a month.
Okay, and so getting the house at that price point, you guys are cash flowing a substantial amount.
Pretty good. Our mortgage with everything is $960. So not too bad of a return on that one. So.
Pretty cool. And what's your strategy on most of these? Are you going to buy and hold, or just kind of evaluate as markets change, or what's?
Definitely buy and hold, especially with the unique ways we've done. Like if I had a property that was only cash flowing a couple $100 and it had insane equity, I would definitely kind of not hesitate to sell right now.
That makes sense.
Just to kind of put that money somewhere else. But since our properties are cash flowing so well, there's honestly just no point in selling. Like there's no way I'm going to be able to buy another single family home that cash flows the same. Of what we have going right now.
So that's, you got the Eagle property, that one is 2 units technically, so 3, and then what about the next unit?
So we house hacked again in Nampa, moved a little closer to Boise. We're right next to downtown Nampa, kind of the same setup. Yeah. We bought a house, it's really close to the front. It's got a long skinny lot with alley access. There is a shop in the back, and it's kind of smaller. This one's only 17 by 15 feet. Okay. We're gonna extend it out another 14 by 35 feet and turn that into a pretty sick 2-bed, 1-bath.
And the front unit you've kind of updated already.
Front unit was, yeah, kind of.
The back one's down the road a little bit, sounds like.
Yeah, so we actually just dug that foundation.
What was something unique? You did something crazy on this one. Not crazy, but I thought it was super smart.
Yeah, so we got a long skinny lot. Main house is at the front. We actually split this lot like this and like this. So the second house is going to go over here, and then I built an RV bay over here, RV unit. Parking spot. So it's got electricity. Yeah, it's all fenced in. It's got electricity, water and sewer and everything you need basically to park your RV and live there. And we're renting that thing out right now for $600 a month.
For dirt.
For basically dirt for somebody to park.
That's amazing. So, genius.
Yeah, that one actually turned out pretty good.
And then the front unit, are you guys, so what's kind of your next play? Because you still need, are you still going to convert that back garage, or is that one in process?
It's in process. So we dug the foundation, just kind of waiting on things to lighten up to get some plumbers out there. Because you gotta, when you do a slab on grade, you gotta plumb everything before you pour. Okay. And then it's set, and then you come in and you build your walls and everything, and you go from there. So we're just kind of waiting on some guys to get over and get that done. Then we'll get that rented out. And projected rent right now over there, we'll be able to rent the main house out for sure for about $1,400 a month, and that's a 2-bed, 1-bath. Yeah, it's pretty good size. It's like 900 square foot. I'm hoping to get $1,500 a month for that back house. It's going to be pretty much. It's going to be bigger, and it's going to be brand new. So
that'll be nice. Yeah. Very cool. So that'll be sitting on good cash flow.
Yeah. So that one won't even be worth the sell either, because it'll be cash flowing and essentially 3 doors on one property. So.
And then your next property that you're closing on is in Florida.
Exactly.
You've been evaluating markets across the nation with myself, and actually showing me a lot of things that I've been learning as well. So it's been really cool. But what's you're buying this one as kind of like an optionable potential rental or short term, or something you guys get to enjoy at the same time, right?
Exactly. The main motivation behind it is a second home for us in the winters. Me and Melissa, we are not the biggest fan of the winters over here when it's snowing and cold and we can't do anything. I'd rather be on the beach hanging out, surfing or golfing or something, you know? Yeah.
I haven't seen you surf in the ocean yet.
No, we'll try it. I might get eaten by a shark.
You got on the lake so far.
Yeah. So that's kind of the motivation behind that one. And the plan is to be there from like November until probably May, whenever the weather gets good here, essentially. And then if they let us do a short term, I'd love to do Airbnb, but it's sounding like we'll probably just have to find somebody to do like a 6 to 8 month lease through the summer, which shouldn't be pretty hard. Yeah, and as long as it at least covers the mortgage, I'll be stoked. Even if I have to fork out a couple $100 a month to keep it and whatever. It's a vacation home. It's for the family and friends to come hang out at. get
Very
away
cool.
from the snow.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And what's your favorite part of what you've been doing with real estate and investing, and like what have you learned? Like what do you like about this whole thing? And let me check. I mean, you're young in my opinion. So what's your age?
25.
Yeah, you've done a lot in a short period of time. It's
last
been about
couple
last
years.
36 years. It's like
36 years?
36 months. So it's impressive.
Yeah, it's just fun being able to invest, work for yourself, kind of be on your own time. Like me and my wife get to get up and go do whatever we want at any point in time because I run my own world. So that's probably the most fun about it. And then just, I mean, you and I analyze properties, hang out, or randomly. If you want to go golf, sure. Like like we can do whatever we want. So the freedom is definitely the most motivating behind that. Especially, I mean, you're already on to your first kid, so we'll be behind you here the next year, and being able to just spend time with family is definitely
make it to the T-ball games.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the biggest hesitation you see people your age make in this world or in this endeavor trying to get into rentals or real estate in general?
Getting past society. If you can do that, then the biggest thing I see is just kind of lack of knowledge, I guess. Because I mean, even you and I teaching people now, it's just like
it's not hard.
I wouldn't even hesitate. Right? Like you know, like I'll buy whatever. Like, but lack of knowledge is kind of what gets you in trouble. You know, same thing like heading into like a potential market crash or something. These people that know what they're doing, they don't care.
They're seeing it as a
they're going to make money during a market crash, whereas we're still trying to kind of maybe prepare for it a little bit, but at the same time there's not really much to prepare for, you know. You go to a motocross race, it's like freaking out whether the track's going to be dry or if it's going to be rutted. Like, I'm not going to just sell my bike and not show up to race. I'm still showing up to race, so I might make a suspension change or something. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to play the game. So the biggest thing is probably just kind of, you got to send it.
Just go for it.
Yeah, you kind of just got to go for it. And seek mentorship. I mean, there's plenty of people out there more than willing to help.
Yep.
And I mean, the people that I'm helping right now, I'm so stoked that a lot of them are looking to buy their first investment property in the next 12 months. And it's
a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And and even in markets that are transitioning, if we see that, if we don't, it doesn't matter. It's about analyzing the deal. There's markets that are you know, like you showed me this week. There's markets that have depreciating asset values or property values with increasing rental values that are fairly stable in the workforce and labor force and local markets. So it's like there's always a play. You just have to do your due diligence and get the knowledge, like you're saying, to find out where those are.
Yeah. And a lot of those kind of markets might not be very appetizing for somebody who's looking to flip a house, but our strategy is to buy and hold, and all we're looking for is cash flow, so we have freedom. You know, we don't want to have to work. So if we can cash flow 12 to 15 grand a month, we don't really care what the market is doing as long as our properties stay rented out. You know, so
I guess to wrap it up a little bit, what would be your guys' next like goal in your sightline? What's your next like kind of thing that you want to accomplish in this venture?
I'd like to add at least 5 more doors by the end of this year, and that's on top of the ones that we already kind of have in process. And then kind of move into multifamily and pick up some multifamily. I know you and I are looking at some properties, so maybe some apartment buildings or something. So just kind of going bigger, thinking a little bit bigger, and
safe markets. And
safe markets, hold reserves,
lower rents,
have fun with it.
Stable markets, good acquisition, good cash flow.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah.
And
no problem.
We'll do another video once we get some more doors under our belt.
Right? Yeah. Buy some stuff.
All right. Well, where can people find you online or social media?
I'm on social media, Instagram and TikTok, jstone537. I'm on YouTube as well, and
like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever you want.
And if somebody wants to build a custom home in the Treasure Valley in Idaho here, what's the best number for them to reach you at? 208-352-2837. That's my cell number. Or you can email me, stoneprecisioncontractors@gmail.com. If you can manage to find some land, let's build you a house. Or if you want to do, like, I have a lot of people actually buying old houses for low prices, and then they're just throwing their cash and basically adding on. So instead of building a custom home, you could buy an old house that's 1,200 square foot. We can add on another 1,200 square foot as long as there's land there to do it, and you're actually still sitting at a lower cost than building a brand new house. Very cool.
And we're remodeling the whole thing, so essentially at the end of the game, you're a brand new house. So
just so people know, Jake can build anything from a spec entry-level home all the way up to a mega super custom luxury home. So got all the experience you need.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
for sure.
Well, thanks for your time.
Heck yeah.